It's day 2 of the 2011 World Series of Poker $25,000 Heads-Up Championship, and we're in the money and down to the Sweet 16, with the remaining players each earning at least $67,000. The round of 32 was full of big names and great matchups. High-stakes cash pro Andrew Roble played heads-up sit-and-go specialist Olivier Bousquet, with Bousquet moving on. In a real heads-up connoisseurs match, Isaac Haxton went up against Jonathan Jaffe, with Jaffe coming out on top. And at one very sick table, Gus Hansen battled with Daniel Alaei, while high-stakes cash game wizards Durrrr Dwan and Ashton Griffin fought it out. Durr came out on top, and we caught up with him just after his win.
Well, actually, our table was kind of sick. It was me, Ashton Griffin, who goes by Ashman online, Gus Hansen, and Danny Alaei. So that could have been like a 300-600 PLO lineup. It was pretty crazy that that's the lineup in just a random tournament. Only the third level in or whatever, only after the third matchup. And the game versus Ashton, I ran pretty well. Got lucky to win it. He's obviously a very good player and one of the last people I'd want to draw in the tournament. I forgot to tell him actually that I had a ton of side bets on this tournament, but I should tell him that because we're pretty friendly and I'm sure it would make him feel a little better that I cooled him so many times. But yeah, I just had the right hands at the right times and it was over pretty quick, and I've run really good in the tournament so far.
Dwan also gave his thoughts on the unique triple chance format of the event, where players were able to start with 1/3 of their stack and add on 2 additional times whenever not in a hand.
I think the rebuy chips is a decent idea. I think it's better than not having any rebuy chips. Obviously, I'd prefer a best out of 3 format for all the matches, but realistically a best out of 3 format would take a lot longer, and I think the rebuy chips is a good compromise. It does suck when you have, even if you're playing 200 big blinds deep at the start of the match, you're still going to get in coin flip spots a bit, and it sucks that you have no reloads early. I think the way it's set up is pretty good, and if you wanted to do it in the amount of time that they have allotted for this tournament, then I think they've set it up very well. Personally, you know, I wish the tourney had an extra day to it and a slightly longer structure, but I mean, I'm not complaining. I think it's a very well-run tourney, and hopefully I just keep running good in it.
Durr was set to play the winner of Alaei versus Hansen, and he gave his thoughts on his possible opponents.
Yeah, I mean, I've probably played, you know, upwards of 500 hours with all 3 guys at that table, which is a pretty insane thing. You know, there's not many people I've played more than 500 hours with. But all those guys regularly play the high stakes, and I've played like, you know, thousands and tens of thousands of hands, probably hundreds of thousands of hands with all of them. And yeah, I mean, I'm not looking forward to playing either of them. Obviously, there's a bunch of people I'd rather play than them, but I'm planning on just winning all of their chips anyway.
Hansen eventually made it through the match to meet Tom later this evening. CardPlayer TV will be here for coverage of the Sweet 16, so make sure to check back for more from the 2011 World Series of Poker $25,000 Heads-Up Championship.